We got the Jeremy Fowler list. Again, a new one. There's a new one every single day where the NFL executives, coaches, scouts rank the top NFL players at each position. The first 3 days, we have not had a Cowboys player show up on the list. We had two people show up in the also receiving votes. Javonte Williams and Deron Bland. Nobody for the edge rushers. But today we have defensive tackles, and you would assume...
I would assume.
This would be one where you're going to get a Cowboy finally after the Cowboys have invested in Kenny Clark, who I wouldn't think is super likely to be on there. But Quinnen Williams, I would think, is going to be very high up on the list.
All right.
So let's take a look at this list, which to me is pretty stunning in a couple different regards. So let's get going. The number one defensive tackle in the NFL is...
Chris Jones.
And remember, we're also including 3-4 defensive ends a lot of times are showing up on this list.
This throws me off. You know what? I hope Broadus is listening. I caught your cute little segment yesterday, if you want to call it that.
Oh! I heard I had some sneak dissers.
I heard your little segment. Let's go with Chris Jones.
No.
Then I have...
You know other defensive tackles. Start throwing names out.
I have no idea. Quinnen Williams.
No.
Cam Hayward.
No. Philly's got a couple good ones.
Williams there. Leonard Williams.
Yes. Leonard Williams from the Seattle Seahawks, who I don't think has been anywhere close to the top five. I don't think he's been in the top 5 of this list for several years. At age 32, he's number 1 now.
Okay.
Which is pretty surprising.
He made it All-Pro.
Williams had never previously cracked the top 5 since this project's inception in 2020. So for 6 years, he's not been number 1 on the list. Now, here he is. An NFL coordinator said he was the most important player on that Super Bowl team. He's the total package. A veteran NFC defensive coach said you can line him up in front of the right tackle, the right guard, the center, the left guard, the left tackle. He can beat them all. He always had game-changing ability, and he's putting it together now, and those around him are making plays because of it, too. So Leonard Williams is number 1. Yesterday, or a couple days ago, we were looking at the corners, and all the corners were like 24 or younger or 25 or younger. We start off with a 32-year-old at number 1 at defensive tackle. Number 2, AFC.
AFC. Let's go with Cam Hayward.
No. This is going to be AFC South. Nope.
AFC South. Who's in the AFC South? Simmons.
Jeffrey Simmons from the Tennessee Titans. Highest ranking was 1, lowest ranking 8. Last year he was ranked number 4. His tape was phenomenal, a veteran defensive coach said, and it's even more impressive doing it on a 3-win team and getting little help around him. An NFL coordinator said his strength is elite, and now that he's realizing his pass rush potential, he should continue to play really well, per an NFL coordinator. Number 3 on the defensive tackles list, these are the top defensive tackles in the NFL, according to the execs, coaches, and scouts that Jeremy Fowler's talked to, and we're going to see where Quinnen Williams ends up. Number 3.
I don't know, Chris Jones.
No.
Okay. That's Cam Hayward.
No.
Quinnen Williams.
No. You do know this guy. This is not a no name. Hawk Tua is your hint.
Hawk Tua.
The Philly guy.
Jalen Carter is number 3.
I was thinking the name Tua.
No. Number 3 is Jalen Carter, his highest ranking 2, lowest ranking 9. Last year he was ranked number 3. It said Carter is one of the toughest evaluations among the top 10. He is immensely talented and has made 2 Pro Bowls. All but one of his votes were in the top 7, but his pass rush prowess is modest with 13.5 sacks in his 3-year career. Carter's production dipped in 2025 with 3 sacks and 5 tackles for loss, though he batted down 6 passes, which tied for most among NFL defensive tackles. A veteran NFL defensive coach said he's a problem, a game wrecker. You feel his presence out there constantly. And then an NFL coordinator said he flashes 10 times a game, but gets dragged far too often by average players. So not a ringing endorsement for Jalen Carter. Number 4 on the defensive tackles list.
Chris Jones.
Chris Jones from the Kansas City Chiefs. An NFL coordinator said he's still a guy you have to game plan for, but you don't feel him as much as you used to. He's been one of the best for a really long time. Oh, that's Jason Garrett? Is he a coordinator somewhere? Jones is heralded as an all-time Chief, and for good reason. He's made 7 consecutive Pro Bowls. Production has started to slip a little bit in recent years. He was ranked as high as 1, as low as 10, and last year he was ranked number 2, so he drops a little bit. Number 5 on this list of defensive tackles.
Quinnen Williams.
Nope. I find it really difficult to say that right now Chris Jones is better than Quinnen Williams.
Who just got traded? The Giants guy, Dexter Lawrence.
Nope. This is NFC South.
Vita Vea?
Nope.
Derek Brown?
Derek Brown, Carolina Panthers. Highest ranking was, and this tells you how all over the map these rankings were. Highest ranking was number 1. The lowest ranking was unranked. Last year he was an honorable mention. Now all of a sudden he's up to 5. A veteran NFL assistant coach said, "We actively ran our running plans completely away from him. That's how good he is. The only reason he's not a household name is that he plays in Carolina." Number 6 on the list of the best defensive tackles in football.
Quinnen
Williams. Finally, it makes it on the list. He comes in at number 6. He drops a little bit from last year's ranking of 5. His highest ranking was 3. His lowest ranking was there were some who had him unranked. This is the full write-up on Quinnen Williams. After 6+ seasons with the Jets, a full year on a different team should benefit Williams. The Jets will knock you down. This is what an NFL coordinator said. The Jets will knock you down. The same thing happened to Leonard Williams, but I expect Quinnen to be better in Dallas, be rejuvenated a little bit. The write-up continues. Quinnen Williams finished 5th in run-stop win rate among 204 qualified players in 2025. As a pass rusher, his 19 pressures in 7 games with Dallas more than doubled his total in 8 games with New York before he was traded. And the Cowboys are hopeful Williams increases his pass rush profile in 2026. His 2.5 sacks marked his lowest total since his rookie year in 2019. And one veteran NFL offensive coach said, as far as his skill sets, he's still so gifted and such a matchup problem. So number 6 for Quinnen Williams is that if he's genuinely like not even a top 5 defensive tackle, which I don't agree with, and I think that he's worth what they gave up. But if he's not a top 5 defensive tackle, does any part of you go, well, then maybe that was an overpay that you got from the Jets?
I don't think he has to be top 5. I mean, if he's number 6, then that's not going to split hairs, you know? Like,
well, because I mean, you are talking about defensive tackle, a position that, depending on who's playing, it could be a little. Like it's not nearly up the value chart for some people, depending on what you're able to do.
It's not high on mine, but
and if you're then outside the top 5 of that, well, because if you can rush from the defensive tackle spot, it's super valuable.
Absolutely.
But Quinnen 2.5 sacks last year.
Well, let me ask you this.
And again, I think he is above. I think he's in the top 5, so I do think he was.
So you
worth
think
it.
he's above Chris Jones?
Yes.
Do you think he's above Jalen?
I think he's last year. Yes. Like if it's the Jalen Carter from last year, yes.
Is he above Derek Brown?
Yes.
Simmons?
No.
Williams?
No.
Is there anybody behind him?
He'd be close around those guys. I think it's a jumbled group on defensive tackle at the top. He's on tier 1 with what those guys would be. Cam Hayward, who's still not been mentioned either. Cam Hayward's just getting a little bit older. Leonard Williams, Jeffrey Simmons, like that's kind of the group. Jalen Carter, everybody's like stacked in there.
Let's go Cam Hayward for the next one.
Number 7 is not Cam Hayward.
He was number 1 in PFF.
You have said this man's name so far in this segment. It was one of your guesses.
Dexter Lawrence?
Dexter Lawrence traded for the number 10 overall pick. His highest ranking 3, lowest ranking unranked. Last year he was number 1. He dropped significantly here. The drop in his play isn't that steep. It's just that voting was very close. It said the voting between the 3rd and 7th spots was close. An NFC scout said, I think he'll be rejuvenated in Cincinnati. He wasn't happy in New York. He's got to keep his conditioning in check. But when he's at his best, he's next to impossible to block. Number 8. AFC West.
I mean, that ain't helping in. Helping is not a word. I got nothing, man.
Zach Allen, Denver Broncos. 28 years old, highest rank was 3. Last year he was an honorable mention.
Could have made up a name there.
An NFL personnel director, I know Zach Allen. An NFL personnel director said his get off and his relentless effort make him productive. He's really good in those 2 areas. Again, highest ranking was 3, lowest ranking unranked. Number 9, played in the Super Bowl.
Byron Murphy?
Nope. Former Philly defensive tackle, Milton Williams, who signed for a big payday in New England. 4-year, $104 million deal. He was unranked, not even an honorable mention last year. He comes in at number 9 on the list. An NFL personnel evaluator said New England has an anchor up front, and the defense wasn't the same without him. Explosive, strong, and great effort player, and you can move him all around the defensive front, and he can be effective. And then finally, number 10 in our division.
Oh. Kenny Clark.
No. A travesty.
A travesty.
I'm kidding. It's not a travesty that Kenny Clark's not in there.
Oh, I thought you meant this guy was a travesty.
No, I mean, he a guy, very highly drafted individual who was thought of as a bust for a couple years.
The Georgia guy.
Jordan Davis.
Yeah.
Jordan Davis. So that means Milton Williams. That means they had Milton Williams, Jordan Davis, and Jalen Carter on that Philadelphia front 2 years ago when they won the Super Bowl. And three of them
pretty good front.
All three are in the top 10 now in the rankings. The honorable mentions, Byron Murphy from the Seattle Seahawks, DeForest Buckner from the Colts, Vita Vea from the Buccaneers, and then also receiving votes, Cam Hayward.
Number 1 on PFF.
Kobe Turner. David Onyemata. Osa Odigizua.
Ooh.
And Kenny MF Clark. Wow. So right there, Cowboys also had 3 on the roster at the same time that were at least in the mentions and the stack and everything like that. But ultimately, Quinnen Williams comes in at number 6. The number 1 player, though, at defensive tackles, Leonard Williams. Tomorrow, the list will be tight ends. You think we're going to get a Jake Ferguson appearance? Will he be also receiving votes?
He'll be also receiving votes.
He had a big year last year from a touchdown perspective. So maybe that's enough to kind of boost him up a little bit. I
was on with Zach Gelb the other day, and he said he was talking about Jake Ferguson. He goes, he had a monster year. So he had a monster year, Ferg.
That always concerns me when I hear somebody say something like that. I'm like, God, what else are you saying that maybe I just don't know about that sport? And I'm thinking you're right about something and you're not.
Well, it's because we're too close to it. Like we did not watch. I did not watch Jake Ferguson last year and say, man, he had a monster year.
No, he didn't. He
scored touchdowns.
He was fine. He scored touchdowns. He was a better red zone threat. But no, I would not say somebody had a monster year when I think he was like 8 yards per catch or whatever he was. Like he was 7.3 yards per reception. He had 600 yards receiving last year. I don't know that would be a monster year. He did make a Pro Bowl, though, as an alternate. All right, over at ESPN.com, they've got a write-up on, they were doing these, like, capsules of every division, and they've got the NFC East one up, and it's titled, Can the Cowboys, Giants, or Commanders unseat the Eagles? And they go around all the beat reporters and ask them various questions about their team. So I've got the Cowboys' answers here. What do your off-season moves mean for your quarterback? So this is Todd Archer. He said, Dak Prescott knows he will have receiver George Pickens for at least one more season. Pickens said he would not go through a holdout or hold in when camp begins. He will play on the franchise tag. That's great news for Prescott, who might have the best receiver duo in the NFL with Pickens and Lamb. What might help Prescott even more are the defensive changes the Cowboys have made with new coordinator Christian Parker, who spent the past 2 seasons as the Eagles passing game coordinator and secondary coach. Any improvement over last season's defense, which allowed an NFL high 511 points, will take some pressure off of Prescott and the offense to put up a 30-plus point game. What's your biggest concern for the team? Archer says, what if the defense is only marginally improved over 2025? It doesn't have to be a top 10 defense, but it can't be near the bottom either. The pass rush will have to come alive. Offseason acquisition Rashawn Gary had 7 sacks last season for the Packers, but none in the final 9 games. Donovan Ezeraku had 2 sacks as a rookie and is coming off hip surgery and forced Bobby Belt to go bald. Sam Williams had 1 sack last year. James Houston had 5.5, but can he produce again? Number 23 pick Malachi Lawrence has promise, but is a rookie. How quickly this group comes together could tell the story of how improved the defense will be. And that, right there, all that stuff about the pass rush is why there are some people who still say it doesn't matter if Von Miller's old and Von Miller's not doing anything. And Von Miller may be just playing games when he's posting stuff on his story yesterday of him in a Cowboys uniform. There's still people who say you need to investigate it because the pass rush is just not in a position right now that excites you at all.
I mean, it's really not. But does getting a 37-year-old really do anything for it? Like, is that
9 sacks last year? Would have led the Cowboys.
Can you count on a repeat?
I don't know. I mean, he is one of those guys who it's like when you're a pass rusher like that, you always got something. Like if you've got a little bit of savvy, you've always got something. If he's just in there in pass rush situations, like part-time player, like, hey, come in here and just 3rd and 8, you're on the field. It might not be bad.
If he is just there on pass rush downs, like the 3rd and longs or whatever, then that's fine. But then the other question is, do you want to use a roster spot on that?
True. What has been the most underrated move by your team? Archer over at ESPN says the Cowboys broke a tendency by signing safety Jalen Thompson to their richest free agent deal in more than a decade. 3 years, $33 million. That's the richest in a decade.
So pathetic.
For years, the Cowboys had been content to get by at safety without high-priced or highly drafted players. Thompson, who was limited in the offseason with a pec strain, brings some calmness and playmaking to the back end of the Dallas defense. Add in the additions of P.J. Locke and first-rounder Caleb Downs, and the safety group can be the most improved unit on the team. And then finally here in this write-up, who wins the NFC East in 2026 from each reporter's perspective? And I'll give you everybody's answer here. The Eagles, Tim McManus wrote there and said that he thinks that the Cowboys looking as strong as they are and where they're at, he thinks that Dallas hits its stride and wins the division. Jordan Renan for the Giants said the Cowboys. And over for the Commanders, it's John Keim, and he says that he thinks that ultimately this will be a Cowboys dethroning of the Eagles. So does Todd Archer agree? He said, since the Eagles put to rest the fact that no team had repeated as division winner since 03-04 last season, Philly is the pick to win the NFC East this year, too. Yes, there is change with the Eagles, but this is a group that knows how to win. The closest challenger will once again be the Cowboys. Washington and the Giants are improved, but also are working in key changes in coaching and personnel. So there you go. All the beat writers for the ESPN NFC East teams, all the outside writers, Washington, New York, Philly, they're all unanimously picking Dallas to win the division. And then you've got Dallas writer Todd Archer saying, no, it's Philly. So everybody being a little bit deferential.
Kind of have to, right?
Nobody picking their team. Everybody being a little deferential.
That's I hate both ways.
Right now as it stands, who would you say you anticipate is going to win the East?
Philly.
Yeah. Even with all the Jalen Hurts questions?
Yeah. Yes. I mean, the questions about Jalen Hurts are never going to go away. They were there when they won the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. It's just they're a better team.
But Saquon Barkley was a 2,000-yard rusher.
That's true. They were just a better team.